Hi there, this is Blair Hill with ConnectAutism.org. Autism Education by people with autism. I'm glad to be here with you today. In this segment of ConnectAutism.com, we're going to be talking about adult bullying and autism. Now, we have two kids. Miriam is 12 and Caleb is 18 that both have high-functioning autism, and my wife and I both have high-functioning autism. And our kids, we'll talk about them just a moment. We'll be talking about autism with kids and bullying in a later segment. But they were very vulnerable and very gullible having autism, because autism is the way your brain processes information, and it thinks very literally, very black and white. So our kids were always bully magnets. The kids would come and bully them because they were just the perfect person to be bullying. Now with adult autism, we can also be bullied. Now my wife and I were both diagnosed with autism, and we've realized that we get bullied in a different way as adults. As a young person, I always dreamed of having friends and being socially handicapped and having such strong opinions because of my autism, and such strong-willed. Now this is not a type of being strong-willed, just to be strong-willed. It's because of the way your brain processes information. And I had such strong opinions that my friends would get tired of me after a while and think I was rude or being mean, when it was just the autism that was speaking out. Now it takes a lot of energy to be friends with someone with autism, because you need to have more patience to understand them. One of the things that I struggled with is I trust people so much. The way my autistic brain thinks is I trust people. When they say something, they must mean it, and my mind just says they must mean it. So over the years, I've had to learn to not be so literal in my thinking, and try to have some more discernment and judgment when people say things to me. Now, a lot of times as an adult being bullied, people will pick this up that you're somewhat vulnerable, and they'll start to reject you, cut you off. They'll make you feel stupid. They'll isolate you. And they won't say, oh, you're a dummy or stupid, but they'll act like that to you. Well, about 6 years ago, I was formally diagnosed with high-functioning autism, which is Asperger's, by a neuropsychologist. And I had suspected for years that I had autism, working with our kids being diagnosed. But this was different. When I received that diagnosis, it was like, oh, now I understand why all this stuff was happening to me, and why I thought this way, why I had such difficulty. And it actually set me free, because I decided that I was no longer going to hide the fact that I have autism. I decided, hey, this is how I was created to be. I think differently. I'm special in the way I uniquely look at the world, and someone with autism looks at the world in a different way, and we need people with this perspective. We need people with autism in this world. A lot of creative ideas and things. Some of the greatest inventors of our history and our world were people with autism. So I have a passion now to teach people how to understand autism. We want to teach others how to understand their children with autism. I want parents to know how a child thinks with autism, so they can understand them and know how to work with them. I'm working on a video series right now that's going to explain the different keys of communication, social skills in a real way, how to calm anxieties, and we'll have this video series done soon, and be ready to let it out to the world. So I want you to stay tuned now. This was our segment about adult autism and bullying. This is Blair Hill with ConnectAutism.org. Autism Education by people with autism. You're going to see autism from the inside out. Thanks for joining us.